I think I know. I touch that 5 for you. I do that 3 more times again. I testify for you. I told that lie.
Hey everyone, it's your girl Queen here, back at it again with another video. Welcome to my channel. If you haven't been here before, welcome, and if you have, welcome back. So last video was Spend a Week in the Life with me. This video is what I do best, read. So today's video, it is Christmas Eve. Yes, it is December 24th. It's Christmas Eve. This video won't be going out until December 31st probably. I have another video coming out tomorrow. Well, not coming out tomorrow, but being filmed tomorrow, which is like a Christmas vlog. Today's video, I'm going to be doing my top 10 books of 2023. So, my original reading goal this year, was 50 books. Let me tell y'all what happened. I read, and I'm pretty sure I read 28 books. 28 books. And I can explain. So, the beginning of the year, which most of these books are from, I was busting books out. I was reading series. I was just reading. And then summer came along. Summer, where I was supposed to have enough time to do a lot of reading. No, I got a job. I got a summer job. Love my summer job. However, I had no time to read. And then when I got back to school, I had no time to read because I am a senior in high school and I had college applications and they are still not done. And I have to finish those today. So I'm going to be doing my top 10 books of the year. In the beginning of the year on my iPad, I had a book journal. My iPad broke. I had to get another one at the end of the summer. So I stopped my journal. But from what I got, I just picked out 10 books. 10 books from the year that I love. Most of these books are 4 or 5 star books. How I rate books is purely on vibes. I could care less about if the book is the best plot book ever. If it's boring, it's boring. But if it's a good plot, it's a good plot. So we are going to get started. So let's get started with book number 1. Okay. So I wrote it down which books I wanted to start with. Not in order, but some of these books I have, some of these books I don't have. The books I have are in this pile right here is not organized. I just threw it to the side. The other books I read on my phone or on my iPad, so I don't really have them. So we're going to start with Percy Jackson and the Olympians, Titan's Curse. So growing up, I wasn't a reader, so I did not read the Percy Jackson books when everybody else did. I read them this year. I read them the beginning of this year. And I love them. I love these books a lot. But this book, Titan's Curse, the 3rd book in the series, I hold it dear to my heart. Near and dear to my heart. I cried. Common thread, I cried. I cried. I don't know if I could give spoilers because this book happened so... But the new Percy Jackson show did come out. Great show, by the way. The first 2 episodes. Great. We're going to keep it spoiler free. I already have some notes on why I love this book so much. So let's just jump into that. Can I spoil it? I don't think I can. Okay. Sorry. The characters. There were new characters in the book. The 2 characters that I love the most, according to my rating when I read this book, was Zoe and Bianca. Zoe and Bianca. So there were 2 Artemis girlies, I think. I don't remember, but they were. There was a big plot twist. I don't remember what it was, but it was a big plot twist. Thalia was in this book a lot. She became... Oh, I think that was the plot twist. That probably was the plot twist, not gonna lie. Thalia. And what she did. It's all coming back to me. It's all coming back to me. Read this book. I rated this book 5 stars. Hands down. My favorite quotes from this book was, when Mr. D, Dionysus, called Percy Jackson by his actual name and not Peter Johnson like he usually does. The quote is, "You called me by my right name," I said. "You called me Percy Jackson. I certainly did not Peter Johnson. Now off with you." Aww. And then my second favorite quote is, "Let the world honor you, my huntress," Artemis said. "Live forever in the stars." It's all coming back to me. Live forever in the stars. The pictures, I'm looking at the pictures and it's really bringing it all back. I'm going to insert this clip right here. But basically, Percy Jackson literally held up the earth. Well, not the earth, but like he held up the earth and took the place of Artemis because she got stolen. It's a great book. You have to read this book to understand how good it was. Actually, you have to read the whole series. I haven't read the whole Greek God series by Rick Riordan, but I have read the Last Olympian series, and next year I'm most likely going to read the rest of the series because the Percy Jackson Cineverse, Multiverse, Universe, Bookverse it's just really good. Hands down, one of the best dystopian books I've read this year. I dabbled in all the old ones. Still haven't dabbled in Harry Potter. You probably won't catch me dabbling in Harry Potter. But out of the whole 5-book series, the 3rd book was really my heart. I cried. I loved it. And yeah, let's move on to the next book. All right. So I look really light because I'm sitting in front of a window. So that's nice. The next book that I read, this is not in order, by the way, of like when I read them. This is just in order by which I remembered them. Is Aristotle and Dante discovers the secrets of the universe. It's Claire. My friend Malia lent me this book. She was never going to read it, so I kept it. As you can see, sorry. I hear there's like a fire, an ambulance going by. So I'm gonna wait. So I can't hear it anymore. I didn't want to write in this book because I didn't know if I was giving it back. I didn't. I read this book in January. It's December. I never give it back. So I got some large post-it notes and tabs on my favorite pages and my favorite quotes. I also rate this book 5 stars. I don't even have to look at the thing to know I rate this book 5 stars. This book pulled on my heartstrings a lot. I love the character development between Aristotle and Dante. I loved how young they were and how their story was portrayed, basically. This book was just love, and I loved it. My favorite quotes from this book were, "Do you think, Ari, that love has anything to do with the secrets of the universe?" And also, "Sometimes pain was like a storm that came out of nowhere. The clearest summer morning could end in a downpour, could end in lightning and thunder." I just feel like that really embodied pain. There's tabs in this book, so I'm about to see why. There are tabs on this book. Okay, I don't know why that one's there. Oh, I remember now. These are just my favorite pages. Yeah, these are just pages I pulled on my heartstrings. This book was really easy to read, and it's a very floppy book. I really liked how this book felt while I was reading it. I feel like there's multiple sections of the book, which really confused me when I was like scrolling through. But all in all, this book doesn't have a lot of pages. I didn't read the second book in this series because I just forgot. But also, I feel like sometimes second books in series don't really mix how I like them to. So I rather just leave it alone. And my Bob is fire. My Bob is fire. So I rather just leave it alone at this book. So that was Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. I highly recommend this book, and I highly recommend Titan's Curse. And now we're going to put these both to the side. Let's get into the third book. Okay. So my third book, this book. Now, my favorite booktuber is Haley Pham. And if Haley Pham loves a book, that book is excellent. And I will love that book the same way. Now, Haley Pham ranted on and on and on and on about this book right here that I'm about to tell you guys. And she was right. Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. Where's the glare at? This book, this book is Chef Kiss. Chef's Kiss. I tapped this book. You can't even see the tabs. You can't see it because it's really bright behind me. I tapped this book. I love this book. This book was just, if you like rom-coms and you like romantic movies where it's not like I love tragic romantic movies, but if you just want like a light, like you just read a heavy book and you want a light book next, I recommend this book 100%. If you want like love and some romance, this book is, I wrote about it. Can come in clutch again, my book journal from the beginning of the year. This book is just scream romance and magic. There's no magic, but it's like the romantic magical. Loved West, love Wes, love Liz. I like Michael too, but sometimes I like Libby, sometimes I didn't. Favorite quotes. Anyways, favorite quotes. I just love this book. I fell in love with teasing you in the 2nd grade when I discovered that I could turn your cheeks pink with just a word. Then I fell in love with you. And then my next quote is, enemies to lovers is her trope, Buxbaum. Her last name was Buxbaum. Libby or Lizzie? Yeah. Liz Buxbaum. That's a bad name, but it's whatever. So I'm gonna look for quotes because each chapter has like a quote at the beginning of the chapter. So I quoted some of my favorite ones. So chapter 9 from 27 Dresses. Love is patient, love is kind. Love means slowly losing your mind. The bars of that one. Everybody likes that, what is it called? The 10 Things I Hate About You quote. I also like that one. If I can find it. I think it's early on though. Every time I tab, my colors change randomly. So I honestly never know because my colors change so often because I usually run out of tabs. Oh wait, we have one that has lots of red hearts around it. Oh, that's the same one. Then there's also, she's not you. What? She isn't you. She wasn't her, by the way. This is a spoiler-free video. So, is that a dog? Oh, sorry. I'm rereading these quotes, and that's why it's good to have books. I'm just saying. This is a spoiler-free video, so if you want to understand why I'm like this, why I am reacting to these books, you have to read these books. We just do. Okay, and then last one I'm going to do was a jealousy quote. Because just seeing you in that dress made me want to punch our very good friend Michael. I don't really remember who Michael was. I read this book in like February or something. Sorry about the sounds behind me. Stuff happens, you know. But yeah, Better Than Movies, Lynn Painters, definitely a 5-star read. Loved this book, and I've been giving nothing but 5-star reads so far. I read off of vibes. Anyways, cue the next clip. Okay. How much books did I just do? I did 3 books. We have much more books to do. I feel like we're getting into the books that I don't have. Oh, I did not grab all the books. Anyways, the next book we have is the next dystopian book that I read. I read Hunger Games, Catching Fire. Well, I read the whole Hunger Games series. I read the first 2 books. I read Hunger Games and Catching Fire. I couldn't do Mockingjay. I'm sorry, I couldn't do Mockingjay. Watched the movie. Loved the movie. I couldn't do it. The movie was long. So imagine the book. I couldn't do it. Catching Fire. Sam Claflin is in this movie. I love Sam Claflin. That has something to do with the book. What to say? I feel like out of the movies in the book, this is the best book and movie in the series. Also, the games is the best. The characters that are introduced are the best. And I feel like the story behind this was also really good. I feel like this was really a turning point for Katniss and President Snow and all of them. This was a turning point. This sparked the rebellion. The rebellion was in this book, kinda. Your foes were tampered with. You realize who you can trust and who you can't trust. The one thing I like about the Hunger Games is kind of how realistic it is. Like, without the Hunger Games, like the capitals and like the capital versus like the districts, it's all the same. Like the government, how they treat their cities, it's really all the same. I grew up in New York. I live in New York City, and by all the police stuff that you hear in the background, the government, you know, it makes sense. Like when I'm in my AP Gov class, we be connecting to Katniss. What are some quotes that I like from this book? Okay, so gotta pee. Sorry. But Gale is not one to keep secrets from me. Katniss, there is no District 12. I feel like that was one of the last sentences on the... Now imagine you're reading. You're on page 391. And on the very last page, like look, the very last page, you read, but Gale is not one to keep secrets from me. Katniss, there is no District 12. End of book 2. You are gagged. I was gagged. If only I could actually read the last book. If only it wasn't so long and boring. But I was gagged. And I don't like Gale. And I'm going to go on a little rant on why I don't like Gale. And I don't think I like Gale for the other reasons. One, I don't like Liam Hemsworth. Every other Hemsworth brother I love. I don't like Liam Hemsworth. I don't have a reason. I need not to have a reason. But Gale, throughout the first book, the second book, throughout all 3 movies, added nothing to the plot but pity. Nothing but pity. He was boring. He was annoying. And he was always there, always giving input when nobody asked. And if somebody asked, which they didn't, they never did. Not once did they ever ask Gale what he thought, or how he felt, or what he wanted. But he always somehow, we always found out. And that's all. That is all. But that was catching fire. And we're gonna go on to the next book. I think the next book we're switching. This was the last. No, it's not. I have one more dystopian book, I'm pretty sure. No, I don't. I read ACOTAR this year. No, I don't. Let's get into the next book. So, the next book on our list is Circe. I don't have Circe. I borrowed it from my school library, and then I gave it back, which is very out of character, but I gave it back. So I don't have Circe with me right now. I rated Circe a whopping, do I have, oh, I don't think I have Circe. Okay, I probably have it in my good notes. I'm gonna look. I'm pretty sure I rated Circe 5 stars. Now let me tell you why. I feel like the story of Circe was phenomenal. I liked the story a lot. However, the book was very boring. The book was very boring. There were times I was like, oh, and there were times I was just like, yay. But I read it. I finished it in a whopping. I finished it pretty fast, actually. I don't really remember any emotions that it brought from me, but I do know that I enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I put a rating. I never put a rating. I put a rating. I'm gonna read you guys my rating. April 23rd, 2023, which is in April. Honestly, this book was boring. However, for some reason, after reading it, I'm content with what I read and think I actually liked it. The writing was beautiful, and I liked the story. So I messed with this book heavy, and even though it bored me to death, I almost DNF'd it 19 chapters in. When I was finished with the book, I couldn't stop thinking about it. You know? I couldn't stop thinking about it, which is why I bumped it from like a 3 to a 5 star. Because I couldn't stop thinking about how good it was. The writing was beautiful. This is by the same author who wrote The Song of Achilles. Love The Song of Achilles. However, Madeline Miller, love Madeline Miller. She writes a lot. She writes very lengthy. She uses big words for no reason. But the book nonetheless was very interesting. I feel like the timeline was I liked it a lot. The character Circe, I feel like she's a villain in the book. She's like a witch. Who cares? She was fire. Fire main character, fire plot. I like the book a lot. Yeah. So, roll the next clip. This is the next book. Okay. So, the next book we have is a book that I don't have. The next 2 books we have are books I don't have. I read the first half of the ACOTAR series. And by the first half, I meant ACOTAR, A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury, A Court of Wings and Ruins, A Court of Dreams and Nightmares. I don't think that is not what it's called. A Court of Dreams and Nightmares. I got myself up sometimes. A Court of Frost and Starlight. And then I DNF'd the last one, which I think is A Court of something. A Court of Silver Flames. When I put quotation marks around DNF'd because I didn't DNF it because I just didn't like it. I DNF'd it because I got way too busy and just never, I forgot I was reading it and never finished it. I just didn't finish it. However, I did read the first 4 books out of the 5-book series, if that is 5 or 6, I don't know. I liked them. I was bamboozled. I don't think I rated ACOTAR so highly because of Tamlin, but when Rhysand came in and the Bat Boys, I don't remember what their clique was called, but when they came in, I liked it. I liked it. Feyre, I can't remember her doing anything wrong. I liked it. So while I'm doing this, I'm gonna do them both. We have Wings and Ruins, and we have Mist and Fury. Wings and Ruins was the war. This book was good. I finished the ACOTAR books, like the first few ones. I read them online, and I finished them very quickly. I was like busting them out, one, and I liked it. Oh, the storyline was good. The plot line was good. The plot was good. The points were good. The character development was good. Now, anytime I see a rice sand or a wrist sand or anything, however you pronounce it, rice, Reese, I love them. Like with Anna Huang, when she wrote Twisted Game, no. Oh my god, Twisted. The second Twisted book. Wait. Twisted Lies, Twisted Games. Twisted Lies, Twisted Games, Twisted Hate, Twisted Love. Twisted Games, yeah. I don't remember where I was going with the story. I like those books. Back to the actual ACOTAR series. That was my first time reading any like fairy. I don't even know what this is called. It's a certain type of. It's not. I don't think it's dystopian. Oh, it's like magical realm type stuff. I like the book. I like the characters a lot. Maybe next year I'll finish A Court of Silver Flames. I might do a video where I finish series that I haven't finished yet. There's a lot of them. But next year I'm definitely reading Vampire Diaries. Because I have those books. And I just was supposed to read them and I never did. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. So we're going to move on to the next book. Yeah. So I just did... I did Percy Jackson. Alright. I feel like this was the realest book I read this whole year. And not real as in like, oh, but like real as in like literature. I read Jane Eyre this year, but that was for class. So like literature wise, I read 1,000 Splendid Suns. I cried. I finished this book in a Dunkin' Donuts, and I tell everybody this because it's so significant. This book was really good. The story of this book was real. It wasn't real, but it happened to real people. I'm gonna read, if I could find the blurb, I'm gonna read it, but I don't think there is one. Like, there isn't like a... There isn't like a thing, but this book, I'm not gonna say a lot on this book, even though I probably should, because if I do, I'm gonna start spoiling it. But I feel like in our life, you need to read a Khalid Hosseini book, and if I pronounce that wrong, I'm really sorry. But you need to read this book, 1,000 Splendid Suns. Next year, I'm definitely reading Kite Runner. I was gonna read it for my AP Lit project, but my teacher picked my book, and I'm reading Invisible Man now. So, yeah, I should probably get to reading that one, too. Anyways, Khalid Hosseini, 1,000 Splendid Suns. It's about... Actually, I'm gonna give you guys a summary. Like, not a summary, but like what the blurb is, because it's not on the back of the book. POV. You're watching Gossip Girl. I'm watching Gossip Girl for the first time. Thank you very much. Alright, so 1,000 Splendid Suns is about two young women, Miriam, an illegitimate child, and Layla, an orphan, and the difficult lives they lead after marrying the same man, Rashid. Now, that blurb gave absolutely nothing. It held not even the slightest weight to what the book is about. The book is deeper than that. The book is deeper than them marrying the same man. The book is deeper. It talks about family, and it talks about the women in Afghanistan, and it talks about all the issues and problems that goes on in countries where women are not valued, but also where the government is being overrun. Sorry, I'm hearing things. Does it talk about the Taliban? I think it does talk about the Taliban, but I'm like not sure. Let me make sure I'm talking like I'm about to fact check myself. So oh yeah. But also this book has themes such as domestic abuse, sexism, polyamory, war, and oppressive government. So if that's something you don't want to read about, then don't. But I feel like it's a good book to read. And yes, it's the Taliban. So that was 2020, 5 stars, 6 stars, 10 stars. Very good book. The story is beautiful. If you can read this, please do. If you think the themes are too harsh for you, don't read it, I guess. But it's a very good book. I would read this again if I had the ability to reread books without being angered. I'm actually gonna reread a book as a video. I don't know which book I'm gonna reread though. It's probably gonna be Anna Huang book because I love Anna Huang so much. But yeah, let's roll once again. Let's roll the next clip. All right, so how much books do we have left? Enough books. Oh, we have 3 books left. I have 2 of those books. I have 3 of those books. I have all 3 of those books. I just do not know where The Island by Natasha Preston went. It's somewhere either in my bookshelf or my bedroom. We'll see. If there's one thing to know about me, is that I love Anna Huang. I've met Anna Huang 2 times. I met her, was it this year or last year? I'm pretty sure it was this year. In February. At the romance. I met her and Kennedy Ryan. Oh! King of Pride. So, if I had read the Twisted series this year, I read it last year, if I was to read it this year, this would have been just that video. But I didn't. She's dropping a 7-book series called the King of Sin series, and this is book 2, King of Pride. I love book 1. I haven't finished book 3 yet. I got really busy, haven't had time. I finished this one though. I also got it signed when I met her for her King of Greed book thing. I don't want you guys. This is a family channel. Hashtag signed. Yeah, I got it signed. I love this book. Why? Because this book wasn't flashy. And I love her flashy books. But this book, it really caught me off guard. Not in the way you thought it was. The relationship between Kai and Isabella was so realistic. They met in a bar. They secretly dated. Their romance was cute. And when they broke up, I was shocked. Like, and not because I was just like, oh my god, they broke up. I was just like, wait, are they actually breaking up, or is this like a joke? Is this like a little jokey joke, or are they actually done with each other? They were. But they got back. Happy ending. This is a happily ever after ending. I like this book a lot. It was very realistic. Like, the relationship was very realistic. There was no like mafia or murderer, or like Kai wasn't going around killing people. He was pretty normal, which I like. And Isabella was pretty normal. She had purple hair, I think. I like this book a lot. This was a really good book. Yeah. Okay. That's gonna be the thumbnail. Next we have, I'm saving the best for last. Y'all probably already saw it, but I'm saving the best for last. Oh, King of Pride, 5 stars. Next book was The Island by Natasha Preston. I was bamboozled. This was a thriller book. I don't read a lot of thriller books, but I read this one. It's about these teenagers, these social media influencers on an island. They get invited to an island. Stuff hits the ceiling. Everything goes mad. People are going missing. People are winding up dead. This book upset me. Not because it was bad. It was because the one girl I was rooting for. The one girl I was rooting for. Mind you, the main killer, I guessed them. I guessed them. But when I found out that the one girl I was rooting for was in on it, oh, I was pissed. Oh, I was mad. I felt betrayed. I felt betrayed. And I'm not even gonna give you too much. But when I said she was like me and I was like her, and so she betrayed them, I was betrayed. That's why this book got 4 stars. Because I got betrayed and I didn't like that. But it was a really good book. I don't remember if it was slow or not. I feel like in the middle, it was kind of slow. Actually, no. It was like in the beginning, it was kind of slow. But at the middle to the end, it picked up. It picked all the way up. How I was imagining it at the time was the imagery is really strong. Like you can really visualize where they are. They're at an amusement park. It's gothic. But I was in Six Flags. I was at Six Flags, or maybe Coney Island, because Coney Island's kind of run down. But I was there. That was the mindset that I was in. That's where I was picking up at. I'm so sorry. I just can't stop thinking like how she really betrayed me, and I don't forgive her for that. I don't forgive her for that. Oh, in the end, ooh, the cliffhanger. I googled it, and I don't think there's a second book. But that that's a bird. But that cliffhanger was. I don't like cliffhangers. A little rant. And where I'm going with this rant that has nothing to do with books is that I don't like cliffhangers. And my Bob is fine. My friend Ayana did my Bob, and that's not perfect. I liked it. Didn't like the cliffhanger. Didn't like how my character betrayed me. But good book. Next clip. Alright. I saved the best for last. Because you guys probably were like, oh my god, where is the black books? I saw white, Asian. Where's the black books? Now, I'm not going to hold you guys. 2024, I'm definitely going to divulge into more black literature. That's the promise I want to make to myself. Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. Also signed and personalized by Miss Ryan herself. I'm gonna read you guys the dedication because I feel like it's so powerful. To the strong girls, to the hustlers, to the super women. Oh, sorry. Tend your heart with ruthless care and rest. This book was about family, mental health, and self-love. Self-love and self-respect. Sorry, I'm watching the fire truck. Sorry, I like watched the fire truck pull out of the station, turn the corner, and turn the sound on. This book was really good. I also tapped this book. One thing about me, I'm gonna tap the book in the beginning, and then once it gets good, I'm not gonna tap it at the end. Yeah, I'm gonna read you guys the blurb. I feel like blurbs spoil the book, but I guess how good this book is and how the second book with Soledad's story is coming out. I want to talk about how much I dislike the daughter. She really did not like her mother. And I did not like that. And she was really annoying. Throughout the whole book, she was just really annoying. She pissed me off a lot of times. This book talks a lot about, I'm thinking I have quotes, but this book really talks about mental health, and I feel like there's trigger warnings in this book. Because Kennedy is the type to put a trigger warning. Yeah. The author's note is trigger warnings, so I'm going to put some too before you guys start reading it. Yeah. I'm not going to say it because it is spoilers, but please, before you go into this book, Google, actually when you open this book, on the author's note, this like third page, there are the warnings, trigger warnings. Read the author's note, and you know, I love this book. I did do a thing with it. Okay, so these are the quotes. These quotes are heavy quotes. They're heavy ones. Grief is a grind. It is the work of breathing and waking and rising and moving through a world that feels emptier. A gaping hole has been torn into your existence, and everyone around you just walks right past it like it's not even there. But all you can do is stand and stare. So heartbreaking. I have 3 quotes on here. Depression, she goes on, is a liar. If it will tell you no one loves you, that you are not good enough, that you're a burden, or in the most extreme cases, better off, then it can be certainly convinced that it can certainly convince you that you're better off without the man you love, and that ultimately he's better off without you. And then the last quote that I found was, finding someone you can laugh with when everything hurts was the stuff happily ever afters were made of. Beautiful. It's beautiful. This is my last book. I don't want to give too much away. But the thing I will say is that you have to read it to find out why I love it so much. And you also have to read other Kennedy Ryan books, because Kennedy Ryan knows how to write. She writes herself a good romance. A good, powerful romance, too. Like, it's not even superficial. It's a good, powerful romance. All her romances that I've read has depth. And I love a book with depth. Mostly by a black author. I love Kennedy Ryan. She has so much depth. And she has such a nice woman. She smells good. So much depth. Okay, so now that I've debriefed all 10 of my favorite books, that is so weird. So I'm sitting in front of a window, and the same 2 people who left at the beginning of the video are now coming back. And I don't even know how long I've been filming for. It's like 2 o'clock. Anyways, my reading goal for next year, I feel like because I'm a senior, a lot of my time in like school and stuff is going to be cut in half. But I think I'm going to do 35 books. 35 to 50. Again, I'm not going to be so strict on it, but I'm definitely going to read more than 10 books. I love to read. I don't have a TBR yet for next year. I do know that I'm going to be reading the Anna Huang books that come out, and the Kennedy Ryan book, Soledad Story. I actually don't know what it's called. I feel like it's called... Yeah, no, I don't know what it's called. Well, thank you all again for watching this video. Thank you for coming on this book story with me, this book journey with me. This is gonna be like my 3rd YouTube video on my channel. Like I said, I'm filming this on Christmas Eve, but it won't be up until New Year's Eve. More content is coming soon. I'm happy that I finally decided to pick my camera up and record and just put myself out there. So once again, thank you for watching this video. I'm not gonna say again, but like I said twice before, because I forgot what I was gonna say after that. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure to check out every other video after this. Make sure to like and subscribe, and have a nice New Year's. Bye.
I touch that fire for you. I do that 3